Welcome to Women's Social Corner. I'm Janvi and this is WSC Picks, a special segment where we feature women who have shattered the glass ceiling. Today, we have a very special guest on the show. We'll be talking to Edupreneur and an inspiration, Manjula Pooja Shroff. Welcome to Women's Social Corner, and really looking forward to talk to you about your journey, your challenges and your way ahead. So to start with, tell us that when you were young or maybe a teenager, did you think that you will be doing so much in the education industry?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
And I'm so glad you actually asked this question because I've never got a chance to respond to this particular question.
Okay.
Strangely, as I was growing up, I had this little poster that I'd put up saying, "Hold on to me, one day I'll be valuable." And I had no idea that this is called affirmation at that point.
Yeah, manifestation.
But I just knew that one thing I knew, that I am a very special being. I've always carried this thought about me. Even as a little child, I knew that I was very different from others. The way I thought, the way I presented myself, the way I was sorted, even as a child. So yes, I actually knew that I was going to be very, very valuable.
Lovely. Tell us now that what do you bring to kids, in the times when everything is changing so fast, people are concerned about Gen Z and a lot of things that are changing around them?
So we've been in the field of education for like nearly 27 years now, right? And we've not only seen what has changed, we've evolved because we've been always people who've been on the cutting edge. We are very innovative in our thought, action, deeds, everything. So we've seen how this whole thing has gone, where the country has taken it, all of that, right?
Yeah.
Where we today stand at the cusp of, with AI coming on one way, with children having more access and understanding to, to this whole cyberspace than we do as adults because they're native, digital natives. One of the things that struck me, and I've always maintained, is it's about the human development. See, the cognitive level development, the pedagogy, all of that will be taken care of.
Yeah.
But if you develop at a human level,
the emotional quotient,
the spiritual quotient, the physical quotient, the mental, all of that, the 360-degree balance, if you bring in a child, then I think the child will grow up to be themselves rather than chasing one thing or the other.
True. But 27 years, in this 27 years of journey, tell us about that most challenging or toughest time as a professional, and how did you overcome that?
Many challenges.
Okay.
Not just one, okay? So, even when we started, and we are sitting here in the project that I first started when I came to Ahmedabad, and Ahmedabad has always been known as this educational capital of Asia.
Yeah.
And this is the school that, kind of skyrocketed, if I may. This is our flagship school, very well acclaimed as a very, qualitative school. Even when I first started the school, within a week of that, I had issues with the press. Thank you very much. I have a tryst, I have a destiny with the press. So at that time, it wasn't me. I mean, I had hardly come to the city. I was like a newcomer. But within, it was possibly, we were starting to take the education scenario by storm. And we had the press say stuff like, oh, don't trust them. Ye Delhi wale hain. Aapke paisa leke Delhi chale jayenge. All of that happened, right? So it started there. That kind of boomeranged into parents groups kind of questioning us and all of that. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Then you may remember, we had a very unfortunate incident of a child dying in an accident. And that simply spiraled all over media. And then you may also remember that I got into, a Gurukul system of education, and that even skyrocketed. Yeah. So there have been multiple challenges, and these are the ones that have been out there in the media, which is why I'm talking about them, but there have been many behind the scene too. The way I deal with crisis is, of course, at a short term you do stuff that is required, but in the long term I'm always saying, is this an opportunity to be bigger and better?
Yeah.
And sometimes over time, I was looking at one of your interviews where you say people first laugh and then they follow.
Yeah.
it's very gratifying that, we got into big trouble when we started to do a Gurukul kind of education, but today the government is actually giving affiliation for Gurukuls.
Okay. Lovely.
It's so gratifying.
Yeah. It's coming back to where you started.
So it's sometimes when you're ahead of the curve, you're a pioneer, and because people don't understand it, you do get into trouble.
Yeah.
So be that as it may, it's important that we go to the next mile. And so each of this learning has just made us better organizers, better planners, better strategists, and take us to the next level of commitment in education.
True. And being a leader is one thing, but being an entrepreneur, bringing in business is another. Tell us that what are the lessons that you learned, about surviving, about bringing in revenue, about like striving in the field?
So I have very good qualification. By now, some people call me a good business person even. So I guess I would be making more revenue, more money in the private industry than I'm making in education.
Okay.
When one comes to education, one takes a clear, conscious decision that you're getting into a sort of non-for-profit space.
Yeah, it's not just business.
It cannot be. In this country, it's a socialistic way of looking of education. Whether it's medicine or education, the developmental tools of education, of society are socialistic in nature, which is not for profit. Now, unless you have that mindset, it can be very difficult. Because if you have a business mindset and you're chasing revenue, this is not the place to be. So
go to some other field.
You have to go to some other field, right? Because it's not the grain. I mean, the statutory laws will not support you, and why will you do stuff that's wrong? So the way I bring in, and this is my personal leadership into this space, the way I bring in my management training, because I'm an alum of IMA, even if it is a non-for-profit space, it has to be run professionally. It has to be managed like a corporate, because you have to bring in efficiency in operations, in legal aspects, in infrastructure, in finance.
Very important.
Very important. So it's about how you handle the sector. But what you do with the monies determines whether you're for profit or not. And this space is definitely not for profit.
True. And look, I'm telling you, it's a very big compliment. Tell us, why does it always feel talking to you that you are a motivational leader? Tell us something behind the scenes. What do you do or what do you read?
No, it's always very good to talk to you, by the way. But let's see. It's important to, when you're clear inside, it just, what chalakta hai, right? It just, what's inside is outside.
It comes out,
Right? So, over the period of time, I realized whether I'm in the education space or I'm talking to people, I'm a very, you use the word motivation, but I'll use a slightly different word called coach. I consider myself a coach, and my leadership style is very much like a coaching style. I kind of, I'm able to pinpoint a certain behavioral aspect of a person, work with the person and take him, her to the next level. And I've taken that, during the COVID, it taught us a big lesson that we cannot work at the symptom level. You have to go to the causation level. And that's how I have, I figured out, my life has taught me actually, because of all the hurdles and obstacles that I've had. I've somehow sorted out that, if you're born, you have to die. But in between, you have to figure out life. And that, and also my management training has taught me that if you know enough, if you've gained mastery, if you've done those 10,000 hours, you can simplify concepts. So I bring all of this, if I may use the big word, wisdom of life, to a very small thing called dhi. Over a period of time, I think during the COVID, I built this concept called dhi, which is like a Sanskrit word, which refers to reflection, contemplation, intellect, deeper thinking. Not skimming the surface.
But simplifying it for people.
For people. And that's how we build this, daily dhi is one thought for your life edition, for your value, to think differently, to think deeper on a daily basis. So this calendar is like a daily dhi 31-day calendar. So every day you flip it and read a new thought.
True, lovely. I mean, You've done so much in life. Tell us that now what do you aspire for?
I know, it's earlier I would have said goals and I would have said multiple schools and I've said these things. Okay, let me go down what I have said. I've said I'll build many schools and so today we have some 30, 40, 50 schools. I would have said that I'm very keen to change the way the policy of education is done in the country, and I've written a lot of white paper towards that. So those are very tangible goals. Today, I think I want to take people to deeper levels of thinking. I want to build stronger people who can live a holistic life through the mental, physical and spiritual dimensions, grow holistically, grow wholesome, grow 360 degree, be balanced, be centered. You know, I always say this, if I were to give you an analogy, electricity flows well and strong only when the white wire is in the ground.
Okay. Yeah, lovely.
If you don't have earthing, there will be sparks. Right? So unless a human being is grounded, centered, there will be sparks. And life has no guarantee for anybody. And there will be ups and downs. And both you have to balance. You can't get carried away and be frustrated, depressed because life is not working. Nor can you be elated and be bombastic and be superior and all of that because life is working. At both situations you have to center and balance.
True.
I think that's my next thing. That's my, and within Kalorex we have a big reach. We have thousands, like 40, 50,000 parents, students who I can hopefully influence their thinking to be centered and balanced and just contribute to society.
Yeah, lovely. And as through this platform, so many young girls are watching us. Tell us, if you had to give your 18-year-old self one advice, then what would it be?
My God, I would have said loosen up. At 18, I didn't have a boyfriend. I was not doing romance. I was not doing movies. I was working out life because I had such a tough life. I had every adult in my life had died by the time I was 21, and you know that. So I was so serious about life. I was trying to figure out life, and I was like, trying to make a living. I was trying to make a name for myself. I wanted to prove myself. I would say, if I were to go back to be 18, I would have said, hey, chill some more. But my advice to the young girls is, that's a very critical age. Do everything, create a balance. If you're interested about how you look, and a lot of 18-year-old girls are there, there's nothing wrong with it. Your age, your biological change gives you a reassurance when you look good.
True.
But what you can wear is confidence.
True. That's the biggest thing, irrespective of the age or
what you can wear is confidence, because when you wear confidence, everything else falls in place. And confidence comes when you are confident within, because what's within is outside.
Lovely.
So work on yourself at any age, work on yourself, get that center, get that balance, and show it to the world.
True. And as much as I know about your life, it's been very eventful. There have been several ups and downs. But today, looking back retrospectively, are there any regrets?
See, life, not all of life one can design. There are some milestones that I believe are already destined for you. So, no, I don't regret it, because I believe that destiny showed me my path.
True.
That showed me today to be what I think I can be, a coach, to dive into somebody's soul. If it was not for that journey, I would not have this learning. So absolutely not.
Okay, lovely. Tell us that there are so many women who are aspiring to, make a career or be an entrepreneur in the education field. Are there any tips on this is what you should work on, this is what you should do or not do?
An entrepreneur's journey is very lonely. It starts with an idea. And when you start with that one idea, everybody is going to tell you why that idea won't work.
It'll pull you down.
It requires you to hold on to your passion with perseverance. It's like a hurdle race, So you jump 100 meters, then you learn to jump 150, you learn to jump 200, 250, 300. but you can't change the destination.
Yeah.
Keep to your goal, change your strategies. It's very, very lonely.
Yeah. To end with the last question, like tell us anything about the value system or anything about one, aspect or ethos that you stick to, even now.
Okay, so in life there is just one truth, and one has to build on that truth, and that truth is faith.
Faith. Okay.
You can have faith in whatever you believe in.
Yeah.
People have faith in nature, people have faith in idol worship, people have faith in religion, whatever. But balance.
Yeah.
One cannot be fanatic about anything.
Yeah.
To me, center, balance is the key word.
Keyword.
To have faith, I have something very, very concisely, if I say, I call it 5F.
Okay.
And these are the 5 fundamental value systems if a human being took care of. A parent passed on to the child, an adult remembered and did it, we live a holistic life. So the 5 F's are family, friends, fitness, finance, and faith.
Lovely. I think there is so much for us to, learn that these are the 5 things, you should keep a balance to go ahead in life. Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. I think there is so much, there's so many takeaways from this interview, especially for me. If there are any concluding remarks that you want to give to everyone who is watching, then you can, and then we end. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Janvi. Like I said, it's always good to talk to you. But I'm glad that you bring out these deeper conversations, because it's time for us to do that. It's time for us to talk to humanity about being genuine, about being authentic about who you are, because you are unique. And it's important to hold on to that and carve your own life.
Thank you so much. And that's all for today's news. For more such conversations, keep watching Women's Social Corner. Thank you.